Mackey Motors in Lake City is the place to find new and certified used vehicles, along with a knowledgeable and helpful sales staff. Find new roads at Mackey Motors in Lake City.
Tyler Brunner here talking with the Paton Churdan Distance Medley team here at the East Sac meet, and we are going to begin this interview here today talking with Breden Smith, the first leg of this race. And Braden, Distance Medley, very interesting race, a lot of really good runners out here today. How do you feel you guys did today?
We ran hard. We didn't score very well, but we did our best.
Right, just a good meet to come out, really push yourself and everything. So you ran that first 200. How do you feel your part of the race went?
I don't know. I think I handed off third to last. I was running hardest, hard I could. But
I could definitely see that. There was a lot of good racers out here today, but you ran your absolute hardest here today. And it's a colder race here for today. I know for those shorter races, you really feel a little bit more cold than maybe the 800 people do because it feels a little bit better. What are some things you do beforehand and afterwards to kind of warm up?
Just go through our normal warm-up that we do at practice every day. A little bit of movement stretches.
And Braden, heard you got second in the discus, is that correct?
Yep.
What did you throw?
I throw a 117.1 maybe.
Perfect. And how did you feel throwing that one? Is that your best, or is that about on par with the rest of the season?
Oh, that was my best throw. It felt good coming out, and then 117 was cool.
Was that your last throw, second throw?
Yeah, it was my last one.
There you go.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that one. And then, talking about the handoff between you and Riley, how do you feel it went?
That was probably our smoothest one yet. Yeah.
That's good to hear. Well, Braden, and then what else do you got going on today? Was that your last race?
Yeah, that was it.
Well, there you go. Congratulations on the night, and hopefully we'll catch up with you later.
Awesome, thank you.
Move on to Riley Cullum here for today. Got a handoff from Braden. Said it was pretty good.
Yeah.
So how do you feel your 200 went here today?
It was pretty good. I forgot to tighten my right shoe, so it fell off while I was running, so I had to kick it back on, which wasn't nice. It slowed me down, but it's what it is.
I was going to ask, at what point did you start doing that? Like at the 100, the 200, or?
After I took this curve, I felt it slipping off, but by the time I made it to about the gate here, I was like, yep, she's coming off.
Is there a point where you just thought about just kind of kicking it off or anything?
They crossed my mind. I was thinking I should just let it go.
Perfect. And, Riley, you ran a 200. Talk to me and take me through that first 100 and that last 100. Which one went better for you?
I always like when you come off that first curve is more of like getting used to the people you're running with. With that last one, it's more just booking it. So I always like that last, which where you put in your most effort. So.
Yeah, for sure. And Riley, what other kind of events were you in here today?
We were running a 4x2, but we had to scratch that. So I have another 4x1 at the end, which I'll start.
Perfect. Which one do you like? You run the 2 and the 1s. That seems like what you're kind of specialty at. Are you kind of on par with where you want to be at the season, or are there some improvements you want to see?
I would like to improve more on my handoffs. I know on my 4x1, he's gone today, but the handoff between me and the second runner, and the third runner, I have a new runner, and that's always a little different with handoffs. So. For
sure. And talking about handoffs, you handed off to Brus here. How do you feel it went?
It was all right. I should have called him to go earlier, but we'll get used to it. It's only the second handoff, or second time I've handed off to him. So
yeah, you got plenty of time to improve before everything happens. But Riley, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll catch up with you.
Thank you.
All right, then we move on to Brus here for today. Connor, you got the handoff from Riley. He said it was okay. How do you feel your 400 went here today?
It was pretty decent 400, I would say. I kind of don't really try sometimes because I got a mile coming up, but I try my best out there for my teammates to at least try my best out there.
Sure, kind of a good warm-up before those longer races, and I guess you're used to kind of doing some of those longer races. Is that correct?
Yeah, the 800s and the mile.
So how did you kind of pace yourself differently from this 400 race compared to your longer races?
I think my longer races, I just kind of pace to whoever's in front of me, and for this, I just run my hardest, just try to sprint my hardest out here.
Yeah, for sure, because obviously the 400 is more of a fast race than what probably you're used to. Do you feel your 400 pace here today was good, needs improvement? What's kind of your thoughts on that?
I think it needs improvement. I just need to get stronger at running these 400s. I think this is my first time running the 400 in Distance Med, I think. Well, I ran 400s before, but that was a long time ago. So.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. What other events were you in here today?
The mile.
The mile. How did you do in that one?
I'm doing all right. My best is a 5:02, so I'm trying to get a 5:30 maybe today.
There we go. And do you think in the mile, what's kind of the things you want to improve upon there? Is your pacing? Is it just kind of your overall running in that event? What kind of do you want to improve in that mile?
I think it's just my overall, because I feel like I'm kind of slower this year than my previous years, but I'm just trying to run my fastest out here. So I'm just going to try and improve on everything, my pace, some of the legs in the between. So, yeah.
Well, Connor, Brus, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll hope to catch up with you later on in the season.
Yes,
And then finally, Brenden Taylor here for the Paton Churdan Rockets. Brenden, you got the handoff from Connor. How do you feel the handoff went today?
It was pretty decent for being our few handoffs. Practice a couple, and they always ended up being pretty decent because they're always open handoffs, which is pretty easy to do. Slow, but
Sure.
good.
Yeah, those open handoffs, they're easy, but there's some times where, maybe it might hit a pinky finger or something weird like that. So you ran the 800 part of this race. How do you feel you did?
I tried to push my hardest the entire time. Near the 100, I gave it all my all. And after each 800, it always kills me. I always end up coughing after that for a little bit.
Sure. Walk me through kind of the first 400, last 400. Which one went better for you?
The first 400, I thought I could catch up to the guy ahead of me. And then realizing after like 500 meters, he started keeping away from me. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to catch him, but I'm going to try and get my best time.
I was going to say, looking in front of you, was that kind of the motivation keeping you going in that race?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, there we go. What other events were you in here today?
4x2, which was scratching, and the 200 dash and the 4x1.
Which one do you like the most, the distance or kind of the shorter races?
I like kind of the intermediate between. I like the 200s, but then I can't do 400s, but I like the 800s.
Interesting, because normally I know a lot of people, at some of these races, 400 is kind of a meh thing, and then the 800 they would never do. So interesting to hear that. Why is that kind of the case?
It's a completely different pacing. I mean, for the 200, you're dead sprinting it.
Sure.
800, you're kind of like lagging a little bit, but then you start booking it at the end. The 400 is kind of like you try to find that sweet buttery middle in between, and it's a little hard to find that buttery middle.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, Brenden, thank you so much for joining us, and hey, congratulations and good luck the rest of this season.
Yeah, thank you.